accidents, right?
Yeah.
I mean, talk about a stressful situation.
Oh,
You're dealing with injuries, maybe car damage.
right.
Then on top of it all, you've got the whole legal mess to figure out.
Oh, yeah. It's like insult to injury.
It really is. Like,
Yeah.
you're already down, and then, damn, you're hit with all this legal stuff you got to figure out.
Exactly. It's a lot to handle when you're likely already feeling pretty overwhelmed and vulnerable, honestly.
Absolutely. Now, you guys shared a video with us, Injured in an Accident, Why You Need a Lawyer, Char.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty catchy title, right?
For sure.
And it definitely brings up some interesting points about, well, why you might actually need a lawyer after an accident.
Yeah. It can seem kind of obvious on the surface, but there's a lot more to it.
So we're going to deep dive into this video today. We'll break down those key arguments and hopefully pull out some real insights that could help you if you ever find yourself in this kind of situation.
Sounds good.
One of the first things that really jumped out at me from the video was this idea, insurance companies,
Uh-huh.
they're not always on your side.
Yeah. I mean,
It's like their main goal is to protect their bottom line.
exactly.
It's easy to forget that when you're dealing with them, right?
Yeah, you kind of think, okay, I have insurance. They're going to help me out.
Right. You're paying them for this service.
Exactly. You think they're going to have your back. But it's important to remember their primary responsibility is to their shareholders, to making a profit. And sometimes that means minimizing the amount they pay out on claims.
So they might not be so quick to just hand over a big check, huh?
Right. They have their own tactics and strategies. They have an entire playbook.
Really? Like, what kind of tactics?
Oh, well, I mean, for instance, sometimes they might try to downplay how bad your injuries really are. Kind of suggest maybe it's not as serious as you're claiming.
Wow.
Or, and this is a little sneaky, they might even try to use your own words against you.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like if you say something casually about feeling okay on a recorded call, they might latch onto that later to try and argue you weren't that hurt.
That's so tricky. What else?
Another common tactic is delaying the whole claims process.
Really.
They know that if they drag things out, you might get frustrated and just settle for less just to get it over with.
It's like they're wearing you down.
Yeah, it can feel that way. And sometimes they might offer you a quick lowball settlement early on.
Like before you really even know the full extent of your injuries.
Exactly. Maybe they grab onto some incomplete medical records and say, here's what we'll give you. But at that point, you might not even have had all the necessary treatments or even fully understand the long-term consequences of your injuries.
Oh, man, that's scary. So having a lawyer in this situation would really help, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, how so?
Well, think of it like this. An accident lawyer is like your champion in this whole process.
Your knight in shining armor.
Yeah, something like that. They know all the ins and outs of the legal system.
Okay.
They know the insurance company's tactics,
Uh-huh.
and they can push back effectively to make sure you're treated fairly.
I see.
They'll gather evidence, interview witnesses, build a strong case, and they'll fight for you to get a fair settlement.
So you're saying they level the playing field.
Exactly.
But, I mean, lawyers can be expensive, right?
Well, yeah, hiring a lawyer definitely can be an investment.
Right.
But you got to think of it like this.
Uh-huh.
It's an investment in protecting yourself and your financial future.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Especially after an accident where you might be facing a lot of unexpected expenses.
You're basically paying them for their expertise.
Exactly. And for their time. Because they're going to handle all that complicated legal stuff so that you can focus on what's really important.
Recovering.
Exactly. They deal with all the paperwork, the phone calls, the negotiations, the deadlines, all of that.
So you don't have to.
Right. And this can be especially valuable if your injuries are severe and you need a lot of treatment and rehabilitation.
Uh-huh.
Imagine trying to navigate all that legal stuff while you're dealing with pain, doctor's appointments, and all the emotional stress that comes with an accident.
Oh, yeah. I could see how having someone else take care of all that would be a huge relief.
Exactly. And that's something the video touched upon, too, these hidden costs of accidents that a lot of people don't even think about.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. It's easy to just think about, like, the immediate medical bills.
Right. You go to the ER, you get some scans, maybe some stitches.
Uh-huh.
But there's so much more to it than that.
Like what?
Well, think about things like ongoing physical therapy,
Oh, right.
And what if you need specialized equipment?
Like a wheelchair?
Exactly. A wheelchair, crutches, a walker, maybe even modifications to your home or vehicle if the accident affects your mobility.
Oh, that's right. Like, what if you need to widen doorways to fit a wheelchair?
Exactly. Those costs can really add up. And then there are the less obvious costs, things that people often overlook.
What?
Well, what if your injuries prevent you from working?
Lost wages.
Exactly. You're not earning income while you're recovering. And some people, depending on their injuries, might even need in-home care.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So all these long-term financial implications can be really significant.
They can add up really quickly, huh?
And that's where having an experienced accident lawyer can really make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
They'll take all of these potential expenses into account.
Okay.
Make sure you're not missing anything when you're filing your claim.
So you're getting what you deserve.
Exactly. They're there to fight for your financial well-being in the long run.
So it's not just about the immediate payout.
Right. It's about understanding the full scope of your losses and making sure you're compensated fairly.
That makes sense. I mean, it's like they're helping you navigate this whole complicated legal maze,
Exactly.
but also they're making sure you're not leaving money on the table that you rightfully deserve.
Absolutely. They're your advocate.
There to make sure you're taken care of.
Exactly.
Now, there's one more thing from the video that I really wanted to touch on.
Okay.
And this one resonated with me on a personal level.
Uh-huh.
The peace of mind factor.
Yeah.
Having a lawyer handle all the stressful legal stuff so that you can,
Focus on your recovery.
exactly, just focus on healing and getting your life back on track.
Yeah, there's an immense value in that. Just knowing that someone competent is in your corner fighting for you,
Mm-hmm.
handling all the complexities, it takes away so much stress and anxiety.
Especially during a time that's already so difficult.
Exactly. It lets you focus on what truly matters, healing both physically and emotionally.
Absolutely. So let's recap.
Okay.
We've deep dived into this video, injured in an accident, why you need a lawyer, say.
Mm-hmm.
What are the key takeaways for our listeners today?
Well, first, remember, insurance companies, they're businesses. Their primary goal is profit, even though they have an obligation to be fair.
Right.
Second, the costs associated with an accident, they go way beyond those initial medical bills. Think long-term, consider all those hidden costs.
Uh-huh.
And finally, having a lawyer on your side can provide incredible peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
They handle everything, allowing you to focus on your recovery, and they make sure you receive the compensation you deserve.
Yeah. And that's both financial compensation as well as that peace of mind, right?
Exactly. It's about taking care of yourself holistically after a difficult experience.
Great point. So for everyone listening out there, I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
Knowing all this, how would you weigh the cost of hiring an accident lawyer against the potential costs of handling everything yourself?
It's a tough question.
Right. Think about the financial strain, the emotional toll, the time commitment.
Uh-huh.
It's a decision that deserves careful consideration.
Absolutely.
So do your research, weigh your options, and make the choice that's right for you.
I think that's great advice.
Thanks for joining us today.
It was my pleasure.
And be safe out there, everyone.
Yeah, stay